It's a easy island vibes. You don't know they are a whole of vibes. it's Duffy Shepherd, and it's all about your thoughts, Duffy's words, the baddest. Wow, it's the baddest podcast about the place. I don't know, it's because of my guest, who has been thoroughly informed of what she may be getting herself into. But I will allow her to introduce herself. What's your full government name? Full government name.
I was born Danielle Antonia McNally.
Antonia McNally.
Yes.
And now you are?
I like Danielle Antonia Stewart.
So with that, we actually have the same initials.
See
Yeah,
that?
because I'm Dufton Anthony Shepherd.
There you go.
Yeah,
Good
that's
stuff.
I'm a sister, people. It's my sister.
You can now start to actually call me Stewart.
I will never call her Stewart. The thing about it is that I've known Danielle from she's McNally, and I don't think I can. I think the name is still saved as McNally in my phone. But anyway, people, we're talking mothering. We're talking motherhood. We're talking mommy, mama, ma. How many other descriptions you have of that term?
Many.
Holy. But before we get into the meat of the matter, I mean, what gives you the right to talk about mommy? What do you do? Is it something that you do professionally?
Okay. Well, I am a mother of two, so I think that qualifies me regardless.
Right.
And just recently, I'm a relationship coach and I'm
Okay.
a conflict management specialist.
Okay.
And I got into relationship coaching and conflict management like kind of by the hand of God.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a lot of family trials growing up, and in wanting to kind of discover self, I
Right.
went into that field. So I dealt with the mother-daughter stuff personally coming up.
Right.
And I had to go through the work to understand the mother-daughter stuff. And then found myself in the middle of some of the trials and found myself becoming my mother, trying to mother my two kids. And so I decided that I wanted to talk about it. And I wanted to explore mothering from a very real place because I didn't think that I was prepared for it. So I started a live with my friend Colleen Diedrich,
All right.
because she has a different perspective.
And Colleen has been on the podcast. The podcast before. Colleen warned her that look out for Duffy. Because she never expected it at all. Yeah.
Yeah, so we talk about it from different perspectives.
Right.
She has a daughter, a
Right.
teenage daughter, and she's a single parent versus me with two sons and married. So we talk about it from different perspectives, as well as being children to mothers who we have gone through our own set of trials with.
Okay, so you're a mother to two sons.
Right.
And you got married first and then had the kids after.
Yeah, but that wasn't like the plan.
Right.
We had tried it before. It was like God did say,
Hold up.
remember see if you really
Just
in
bill.
first.
Just bill. Yeah, try.
And then, we got married, and 2 weeks later, I was sick.
This is how you consummate the wedding. This is,
You seal up.
yeah. But I guess this is like everybody's dream growing up, though. Finding the right guy or the right woman. And then you get married. You do the White House, the house with the picket fence, have the kids and stuff like that. You look stressed out, aren't you?
It's not a house with a picket fence. It's not the American dream.
It's not the dream.
We live in a bush with like a farm in a Guana, so. But it's
Yeah.
a house. We're
Yeah.
sheltered.
We're sheltered,
We're
covered
sheltered.
from the rain,
Yes.
from the elements.
Yes.
All right, let's get into it. Give me your definition of what's a good mother.
I think.
Now, for the persons who are listening, she did the inhale and she's looking up to Jesus
Yeah.
for him to.
Intervention.
Yeah.
I think what qualifies you to be a good mother is commitment.
To.
Commitment to the relationship, to the experience.
To the relationship for you.
You and the child.
Okay. Or children.
Because it is overwhelming, Dufton, and I have come to realize why some women will up and leave that. I've been tempted to up and leave this job.
Whoa. So
this job I resign.
I've
been tempted. So I think it requires commitment and pushing past the I resign from this job and going into the next day. But above all else, I think that the real thing that being a good mother requires is self-awareness. Right? The ability to take some feedback when it's a box in your face, and to recover from it, to get better. The ability to introspect and look at what you're doing wrong. The ability to stop yourself in your tracks when you recognize that you are being the parents who came before you who didn't do it the right way because they did not have a roadmap. But you don't have to repeat those mistakes. And all of those things come with that undercurrent of self-awareness.
You just mentioned, catching yourself when you realize that you're doing it the same way that persons did it before, mothers did it before. Which leads me to, literally it was the next thing I wanted to ask. Has mothering changed? And I'm talking about old school mothering versus new school mothering. The old school.
In some ways, yes.
How has it changed and how has it stayed the same? Like, what about mothering 30, 25 years ago makes sense now in this time and what don't make sense?
All right, so the functions of the role are the same. You look after the picnic, you are the nurturer, emotional support, the nurse for all the cuts and bruises and sickness and so. And you have the responsibility of making sure the child go on to school, make sure the child is working to capacity, make sure they're living up to certain standards, societal and otherwise. But the difference that I definitely can say as someone who experienced this challenge is that mothers of the now have a lot more opportunity to be vocal. We talk much more. So Colleen and I sit on our live and sometimes we just gripe about how hard it is.
To be a mother.
Yeah, my mother never have that chance there.
But shouldn't you love mothering?
Hell no.
As a woman.
It is hard work. And that's the thing. You see, all right, growing up, I had always had younger cousin, younger brother, sister, whoever. I always had kids around me.
So you get practice then?
I got practice, but there was a trick. So you give those children back. You give them back. After a while, you give them back. Right?
When the sun run out of the hourglass, you're like,
you give them back.
Cool, go back home.
And so I was unprepared. The only thing that prepares us for motherhood is you're prepared as a girl to take care of a home.
Right.
That's socialization. Right? But the only thing that prepares us for motherhood is what we see around us. And the context in which we are prepared is, it's effortless. It's your natural, it's your birthright. It's just a gift from God and the babies are perfect. Oh my God.
Why are you doing the voice?
Yeah, because all right, I can't even say.
That's the fantasy that was
correct.
Sold. Right.
Correct. And what I remember is being pregnant and you have the what to expect when you're expecting and all these books and these guides that are really good for the practical portion of being a mother. But the other inexplicable, unexpected stuff is never covered.
Like what?
Like when you turn on and say, I hate you. Right? Things like that.
So what did an old school mother do?
Thumping at your face.
But the new school mother
says, I understand that you don't know how to communicate the feelings that you're going through right now. And instead of thumping you in your face, which is my gut reaction, I'm going to allow you to speak, articulate, just breathe, count to 10. And then you're going to help me as your mother to not murder you. You're going to help me as your mother to understand what you're going through. Which one are you? Sometimes I'm both.
In the same conversation?
60 seconds apart.
Quick and fast.
Quick and fast. Because sometimes the old school mother in it have to kick in.
Yeah.
I was an old school mother on my way here.
On your way to...
On my way here in the car, I was an old school mother. I was my mother.
And now you are?
And now I'm, erudite and eloquent and I have degrees and go to school and so.
And go to school and so.
Yeah.
I see you looking up to the sky a lot. I mean, for the persons who are watching, you can see it. And for those listening, she constantly is looking up for, what are you looking for? Forgiveness?
Choo-choo.
Right here. Right. Yeah, but mothering, it is because you're talking about old school versus new school mothering, and we didn't, like, you touched it a little bit. Tell me, like, 3 or 4 traits of an old school mother and 3 or 4 old new school traits.
As I said, the new school moms have the ability to communicate better. We understand our feelings much more, and we're much more
Really,
empathetic.
though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because what I know, and Colleen can echo this, and I think if you take a poll, because it's something I think I want to research.
Colleen should have been here.
Yeah, she should have.
We'll get another microphone at the studio somehow, so we can have 2 guests.
When I was kind of going through my stuff with my mother,
Right.
I recognized that most of my friends had that mother wound pattern. Mother wound. Yes. And it is very clear to me that
Stick a pin.
the mother wound.
Stick right there. So we're going to take a break. We're going to have to take a break because she's going to explain what is the mother wound. I have a whole different explanation for that. That's sometimes after I do something wrong and my mom throws something at me. But hey, it's all about your thoughts. Duffy's words. I take a quick break. We're so forward. Your thoughts, Duffy's words. Bad podcast with Danielle. Whole heap of names. But we're talking about mothering and being a mother, being a mom. And you were telling us you got to the mother wound. Well, this is the first I'm hearing. First, I hear that term, the producer, what your Paul can. Have you ever heard that? I don't know. Mother womb would probably make sense to me somehow, but the mother wound.
Okay.
Take it away.
So it's not the description that you have in your mind, right? Even though I have a couple of those mother wounds.
I think we all do.
Yeah. I have a tattoo in my back.
You have a tattoo? I think
that
I have a mark,
I used to cover.
a mark in my forehead. I think I have a small limp.
It's not that mother wound. The mother wound is actually, in crude explanation, the psychological impact from the mother-child relationship based on an unlimited set of factors, one of which I have found to be that mothers of a certain age, mothers from a certain time, they did not speak.
Oh, so this is one of the traits
Different.
of
New mother,
old school
old mother.
mom. Right.
So they didn't speak. They didn't communicate. There are so many of us as women.
Communicate how? What do you mean?
I'm going to tell you a perfect example. And mother wound can go from mother-daughter relationship and mother-son relationship in a whole different way. Yeah.
All right.
So when I talk about communicating, yeah, as a girl growing up, there were lots of challenges I had with my body, with how men perceive me, with just a whole heap of things. And what you get under normal circumstances is leak, or you get a pressure. Remember say, you know, if you take man and breed and da-da-da-da. So you get
school.
lots of warning, old
Right.
school, lots of warning, but not any, I also went through that, or I was molested, or I was raped,
Or
or
this is an
you don't get no
interesting-
communication.
An interesting fact, you know, like, I mean, this is maybe a segue that we can get one at a time. It's a topic we can address one day. In having communications with women as I got older, I just didn't fathom how many women have been sexually abused. Like,
Oy, nobody
how
stop me.
many, I mean, like women who we see every day. Like, literally, for me, it was almost full circle. Like, when I spin, is almost every single woman had a story of being raped
or molested,
or molested.
something.
But anyway, as I said, we
Yeah.
want to talk about that
Yeah.
We're gonna have to talk about that one day.
But they don't talk. There are sweep it under the rug culture, and
Okay.
in us trying to be better now, the me's and the Colleens of
And
the
you're
world,
talking about the new school.
new school,
Right.
If my fear when I was having a daughter is how am I going to not? I don't want to jack her up like I was. So how am I going to navigate these conversations when she come and tell me that a man touched her inappropriately? Can I manage to tell her when a man touched me inappropriately and who the man was and the men? 'Cause I have stories, yeah. Can I relate that to her and make her see me as something identifiable and something she can relate to and something that gives her a concept of the reality she's existing in and know that she can run to me and make a fight for her and make a whatever versus like, my mother's age, them would probably know the man and don't want you to say who he is in the public domain. They just like, all right, we are going to just sweep this under the rug. You're so nice and quiet. Go on, hush.
Right.
Hush. You never breed? Hush.
Whoa.
Hush. So 2 pillar. Hush. May I carry a doctor? Hush.
Yeah. And that's it. So the communication, I think that's a huge. I think that's the most significant.
Yeah. Because it's the thread of some of the other things. So like new age mothers try really hard to hit less because of communication. We're talking more now.
Yeah.
So we try our best
Do you
to
think
not.
that, like where that is concerned, there should be like a hybrid approach?
I do.
Yeah.
I apply one regularly. But we still try. Like I'm telling for the last couple of months, Nile gets not even a flick, not even a little conk.
Right.
You understand?
He's been walking the line. He's been walking the path.
Correct. And I've been trying to talk to him because I realize that he has self-awareness, and if you talk to him, he will understand and so.
Right.
But at his age, some of the stuff he was doing was not a conversation for me.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
That wasn't.
Need to just stop it now.
Yeah.
Poof, puff, poof, pow, suck.
And the next time you look like you're thinking about it, you get the look.
Yeah, like
The warning.
Yeah,
Like if you ever.
Normally, old school parents, that you get the first one, and after that, it's just the heat of the look for your neck.
The look was a
Like with this babies, I got a lot of that in church. The look.
Yeah.
Yeah, the back of my neck. I say, Jesus is a touch me. He's the angels.
Nile gets a lot of the look, but not a lot of the touch.
I'm going to ask this. Is a part of good mothering fostering a relationship with the father?
No.
Why not?
I think.
And when I say foster a relationship with the father, it's the father wants to be involved in the child's life. It's not necessarily that it's a relationship with you as the mother and the father, but as a mother, should you foster the relationship between the father and the child? Or
let me rephrase it. I think it is appropriate for you to foster the relationship with the child. I don't think that if you don't, it means that you're a bad mother. So what I think is that it's important to allow the father to have a relationship if he wants to. That doesn't mean you have to foster it.
No, when I say foster, I'm as I said, I put the verbs out there. He wants to be a part of it. Because you have mothers out there. You have women out there who them and the father they're not together.
Right.
So what them do is that them block the father from being in the child's life as a part of spite.
So I find when I'm going, especially in the conflict management field, when we talk about these things and we try to employ empathy, we usually put ourselves in that shoe and apply that to the situation. There are lots of mothers who are not dealing with fathers that are the best people to be in a relationship with the child, even though they want to. You understand? He might be a thief. He might be a sociopath. You understand? There may be lots of variables that she may want to protect her child from, even though the father wants to have a relationship. He may be schizophrenic, and the child is not of age yet to understand how to maneuver that kind of nuance.
That can go both ways, though. I mean, fathers
Absolutely.
can see the same thing in...
Absolutely.
But children are normally, because even legally, a child will more than likely be in the care of the mother. And she will have the leeway to make certain decisions.
Right.
You know, when it comes on to interaction with the father. And you have some women out there who will just block the father, but yet still she says, hey, I'm a good mom to the child, because that's her, what she's doing is direct.
Right. So some people are doing it from the space of being harmful. They want to harm the father. They want to intercept that, thinking that that's a thing that will cause that man great pain. Some others, the motivations, I think, the motivation is what matters. Is the motivation that you're trying to protect the child from something, or is the motivation you?
All right, here one. We're going to take a quick break because we've got lots more to talk about. We are get down in the meat of the matter. Your thoughts, Duffy's words. Bad. Danielle Stewart is in the building. He will soon be back. Your thoughts, Duffy's words. Danielle Stewart with me here around the blue table. Watch our face. Wondering what's next. Let's talk about the behavior of mothers and what is the perceived behavior of mothers, or what society looks at them, how men look at them, and how mothers, sometimes other mothers, look at others. Who will still go out. Yeah,
let's do that.
Yes. I know somebody dig up something they've already find out.
Let's do that.
Yeah. Yes. The mother who's going to go out and party, and in Jamaican colloquial terms, dash out.
That's me.
And go on with a bag of things still. Can a woman be a good mother, a good mom, a good example, and still be acting and
still dashing out? That I do it all the time.
Who says you?
Me know me's a good mother. Me no need no validation, sir.
Wow. And the neck has come into play.
Me know.
Right.
Me know. Me no need a stripe. Me know. I put them clean and them take care of. Listen now. I think that... Watch him, man. I can't, but I didn't.
I have to laugh, yeah.
So, I think that we need to do away with some of those judgments, yeah? Because I think it is important as we raise these new age children for us to be very real about who we are. Mother is not Mary. You understand?
Right.
So this virtue that everybody ascribes to motherhood, and all of a sudden your dresses must belong and reach your ankle, and you're not going certain places because he's a mother now, right?
But don't believe in that. Music,
yeah, because you're a mother now.
Way,
you're somebody mother.
Your hair shouldn't, right? And you should behave as, yes.
Yeah, I don't believe in that, because then who am I showing to my child? If I should die tomorrow, does my child know who I am? Do you understand me? And I think that is also important, especially as we raise. No disrespect to the other races. But yes, as we raise these young black babies, identity is something that is very important. And they learn identity from you. So if you're going out and enjoying yourself in whatever manner that is, whether you go to church or you go to dance, in whatever manner that is, if your identity is restricted by the fact that you hold a role in this child's life, then that is what you are also projecting and helping to create. Somebody who is repressed and can't enjoy themselves because they fill a certain role in society.
It's come like it touch your man.
Yeah, it does. It does, because
is it because of the perception of general society from men or from fellow women who are also mothers?
It is usually from fellow women who are also mothers and also like Christian women and men. You understand? That's where that comes from. But the reason it touches me personally, I really normally don't care about how people feel about what I am doing. Yeah. The reason it touches me personally is because my mother, as much as she came from a different time, was the type of mother who expressed herself. So once I started driving me car, my mother got a Sparrow. And you know, when Sparrow...
So, well, hold on. You and your mom went out?
Me and my parents went out. Before I started doing parties, I was going out with my parents. I'm going to rate out with my parents. Heineken Star Time with my parents. That's where I learned music and grew up. And my father's a music man.
Okay.
And my mother got a Sparrow and she whine and go down and ground and whine come up back. And I knew her. So when I was on the road with her and we're going to get a ticket and she come out and, hi, officer. How are you? I knew what she was doing. And I was like, yeah, you get us out of that ticket. But me know her.
Yeah, okay.
So I don't have to guess or spell about who my mother is. And because I don't have to guess or spell about that, I don't have to care. I don't have to be put into a box by other people. Come my mother make me know who me be from a barn. Get me? So I think it is important if I dash you dash, just dash. And make you pick them know so they say a thing there.
For persons who are listening, I mean, for people who are actually watching, they know, but the persons who are listening, you may hear two different persons at times responding to my questions. It's the same Danielle. Sometimes it's Danielle, and sometimes and I'm sure her alter ego has a name. Danielle, what's the name?
No, my alter ego don't have no name.
She doesn't have a name?
I am 3. All of them named Danielle.
Is it okay to want to take a time out from being a mother?
Ooh, boy, we got personal, you know. Yes. Yes, I want to take a time out right now. And I think it's okay because it is really hard work. And it's very grating on your emotions. Your emotions especially, because the way I notice that fathers experience the things that children do is totally different than the way the mother experiences it. When my child cries, it's like my uterus stands up at attention. Okay, I feel it in every fiber of my being. My husband be sleeping like, yeah, whatever. You get me? So it is hard on the emotions, and motherhood, because of how we are cultured also, kind of takes on this we run this narrative and this kind of description that mother must be center of everything. So mommy plans.
But hold on, but this is what mother should be. I mean,
that's just cultural though.
Yeah, this is how mother should be. You're a mom. You should love the child at all times.
I do love the child at all times, but I'm also a human being and an individual and a professional. And there are times when I would like to use the toilet without a 2-year-old sitting in my lap with his tablet. Like, at all times, no. I'm a human and an individual, and there are times, having just done some meeting or whatever, when I want a minute to breathe.
But can people look at that in the moment you want a moment and say, oh, she'll be a bad mother because she don't want to have her youth around her? You should want to have the child around you at all times.
Some people do look at it in that way and think that, boy, you're failing because you want a moment for yourself. But the truth is, as somebody who has gone through postpartum depression and experienced that and understood the psychology of what was happening to me, and then juxtaposing that against the judgments, because half of what happens to you when you have postpartum is a fear of judgment. You get what I'm saying? So the fear of judgment, the thing that we do in society to continue to judge people because they want something other than what the norms prescribe, is an unfair thing to do, because sometimes the person never signed up for that. They didn't know what they were getting into, and sometimes they didn't want that thing. They just went with what society told them was the thing to do. I'm sure if enough women did educated a certain way, they would choose not to have children. Yeah, and I tell people also when people...
Would you choose... If
differently.
you could go back, yeah. If you could go back.
I would do it I would do it younger.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have done the college thing,
Mm-hmm.
come out at 22 or so,
Mm-hmm.
do the picnic thing.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I'm 30 now, I can start go back and enjoy myself. I can still go 1 and 2 party picnic at 7, 8. You understand?
Do the maths.
Life come back.
Yeah.
Right? But you see, when you do it when you're too young, you don't have anything under your belt. When you do it when you're too old, you have already gotten used to a life with balance and waking up and having your coffee and, trying to decompress before you get into the day, and you have a whole structure, and then there's a little person derailing your entire structure.
I'm gonna have to. Can we take a break and come back, because I have a couple more things over. I need you. And the party going to be interesting. Your thoughts, Duffy's words, Danielle Stewart. Conflict. What do you say your conflict what?
Management.
Conflict management and relationship what?
I'm a
Guru.
I'm
Who
a
come back?
conflict management
Who
specialist.
come back?
You're an idiot.
Your thoughts, Duffy's words, Danielle Stewart. Normally the podcast is wrap up, but we have a last segment for me know. And the grab bag will go in a chance. You can never ever fit the big balloon. Right. Is it okay to not like your child sometimes?
Yes.
Wow, it could have taken a breath.
Argument
first.
done. Wrap up a show. Yes. Your picnic have a whole personality, Dufton.
Right.
And it's okay if that personality don't mesh well with your personality.
Mm-hmm.
And just because you don't like him
or her,
you
can't. She's very personal now. She got 2 boys. So
just because you don't like him.
Right now she have vision. Right now she has one of them. Like she can see him.
Just because you don't like him in this moment doesn't mean you stopped loving him.
Right.
There are times when I'm not enjoying my child's company. But please believe, if him go out of the door and me hear, Mommy! The instinct.
Yeah.
I'm running to the rescue. Anything in the way get chopped.
Right.
Yeah?
Are we?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the emotions.
Yeah, because we are sort it out. We are save him. Mm-hmm. But we have to appreciate that our children have different personalities. Mm-hmm. And to tell ourselves that children can be seen and not heard and all of them something there, right. It's not applicable for them new age YouTube picnic. So they come
new
with that.
New age YouTube.
Yeah. So they come with the Mickey Mouse, Disney rubbish for them I watch. And they come with all those attitudes and those things that they're trying to learn. Mm-hmm. And they test it out on you. You understand? They run little tests and you have to do.
You have to know how to maneuver.
Yeah.
All right.
So you can don't like them, but love them.
I've had this conversation with a few women, right? And it's actually, this came to mind in having a conversation with, some women. The notion of picking your child over your spouse. Now, I've watched movies, where the parent has to pick between the child and the spouse, and then pick the child, or one or the spouse or the mother or the father sacrifice themselves, or that's the situation they find themselves in. Now, do you agree that there are circumstances where it is okay to pick your spouse over your child, or pick your child over your spouse?
Yeah, I do think it is circumstantial.
The spouse over child one more time.
Yeah, that's exactly what.
Because I've heard women say, "Listen, I can have another child." Now, the man that way, I did. I don't think we can find another one like him. That's for women who are following.
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think that there are circumstances where it's okay to prioritize your spouse over your child, because I think that children need. Let's not talk about the worst case scenarios now, like illness and them something there. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Just generally, even in the simple act of giving time, because children have a way of taking over your entire time. Children have a way of taking over your entire budget. So every snack is theirs. Every clothes is theirs. Everything is theirs. And I do believe, as much as I try to give time to my children, I do believe that it is important sometimes for me to tell them, yo, it's not your time. Right now, we're having an adult conversation. Could you excuse me? It's also good for me to take with myself and find a little Airbnb and go a country, go do adult things for adult time. And I can't do it in my house and pick them fast and break out like a boots and so. Fly high.
I was just going to ask, has sex changed for you since being a mother?
Oh, Jesus, yes. Appear screeching. Jesus, Father, I can't take them. You have to screechy.
Yeah.
Or you have to come out of the house. So I have a whole come out of the house strategy.
Well, okay, I don't.
Let me tell you about it.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. No, you can help. You have women out there who are listening. You have fathers out there who are listening.
No, I'm not out my husband. I'm out myself. I'm not out.
No, in terms of he's listening because he's like, hey, I want some my wife, but...
Yeah, I forgot half time.
Half? What does that mean? This is not the Reggae Boys playing. What does that mean?
Half time. You have to visit those establishments where you can book a stay for half time or full time.
You mean a 4-hour
AC or fan?
Park at your own discretion. You pay the money and you say, you pay the money too. You just put in the money and get a key. And don't let them punish them too long.
No, just
quick and fast.
Quick and fast.
So that's...
And it's a big woman teach me that.
Wow.
She is my mentor.
Whoa.
And every time we're on the road, I noticed that she said to me, when you go down that road there and you make the left turn and you see like a Oros on the side, and I'm like, what? But every time she give the directions, I want a damn place. I say, yo, why is this your landmark? And she said, in my house, enough picnic and if it's screechy and sometimes you want to make nice and, So when you make...
pillar settings.
Half time.
I would never... Pablo, talk to me. You would have never...
You have to get... My point is that you have to be creative to keep the relationship alive.
The fire.
To keep... Yes. Yeah. Right? And sometimes...
Because there's some non-mothers out there who just wait. Wait for scoop up the fathers.
Yeah, and there are non-mothers who... Because they're non-mothers, that man might be a father, but they don't recognize... Their brain don't shift into gear yet because they're not mothers yet, right? But them have a man who is a father. They don't understand the nuance of that living arrangement and so on. So what I'm saying is sometimes you have to get creative in order to make the relationship flourish and to know that your half-time days are your half-time days.
I don't know.
Not interrupt that.
Half-time is going to have a whole new meaning to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the referee you go, half-time.
Out.
Give me one piece of advice. That's one. For mothers, and one piece of those wanting to be mothers.
For those wanting to be mothers, I would say, don't buy the trick. It's a trick.
Wow.
It's a trick. So just get yourself well informed. What to expect when you're expecting, and those things give you the logical steps about what can happen to you biologically and all of them something there. If you really want to get prepared, you have to start talking to some seasoned mothers and not the ones who pretend that everything is okay and pretend that life is grand and their partner is the best thing that ever happened to them. And oh my God, every time you see them with the baby, oh Jesus, seems so nice. Get some big woman friend. This is what I tell people in relationships. You want some grown, seasoned mothers to talk to and inform yourself about the journey.
And one for mothers.
For mothers. Don't lose yourself in the journey. It's very easy. It's very easy. Children are overwhelming. And in many occasions, especially moms who stay at home or work from home,
Right.
you get caught in the t-shirt and the vexation, and you just do the work or you clean the house and you just up under the stress. And you forget who you are. You forget that you're a vixen, and you forget that you're a professional, and you forget that you have umpteen degree, and you forget, say you was a hustler, and you forget
You
yourself.
did all 4 of those, and 4 different personalities come out.
Why you love me?
See.
But you forget from time to time who you are, absent of mom, absent of wife, absent of all that. My name is, I'm Danielle.
Yeah, that's it. Where can people find you on social media?
Mothering is a mother, MOTHA, is on IG.
Oh, mothering is a mother.
Yeah, it's
MOTHA.
it
Yeah.
have another, it have a
Yeah. We know. Yeah.
MOTHA.
Yeah, once you tell it to you, go find it. Go find it right there. So go find it right
And
there.
I'm Danielle Stewart on Facebook.
Okay. So people reach out, talk to her, comment, share, like. Of course, it's Duffy Shepherd. And one more episode of Your Thoughts, Duffy's Words is wrapping up. It's not half time, full time. Until next time. I'm out.